Hey everybody, in today's video I'm going to talk about circular references, how they happen, how you can find them, and how you can fix them. So in this example, I've just got a spreadsheet that's got sales data in it, and let's say I just want to do a quick subtotal for everything, right? So let's say I'll start with column D, just do a sum function, and say everything in column D. Hit enter, but now I'm going to get a circular reference warning. And so this happens because the formula that I just entered is effectively including itself in its own calculation. So D64 is adding up all of column D, which includes itself. So that's where it's a bit of a circular logic. So that's a problem. And so there's a couple ways that you can find circular references. In this example, I just entered in the formula that caused a circular reference. So I got that pop-up, and if you open up a file that has circular references, you may notice that initial warning when you open it up. But there are a couple other places you can find them. And so one, you'll notice at the bottom here, it says circular reference D64. So it tells me that there is a circular reference on this sheet. So that's one place that you can find it. Another place is if you go to the formulas tab and under error checking, there's an option again for circular references. Again, it'll point me to D64, telling me that it's there. Now, normally if you open up a spreadsheet, you're probably not going to go and seek out circular references. But if you get that error message saying you do have circular references, that's where you can go to check where they might be. So, and there could be more than one, obviously. If I copy this over to column E, do the same thing. Now I've entered it in for column E. Now I'm not getting an error message anymore because it's already given me that warning. If I go to error checking here, it's telling me E64, even though D64 also has a circular reference. So it's not going to necessarily tell me all of the ones that are in there, but it is going to tell me nonetheless that there's at least one circular reference. So one way to fix the circular reference is to just, in this case, adjust the range. So I've got all of column E. So let's say if I adjust this from E2 to E63. So I'm not going all the way to including my cell. Now it's doing the calculation properly. It's done that for me. Now you'll see down here it says circular references D64. So it doesn't show E64. It says D64. Same with over here under this error checking. So the one drawback of this is you won't see a list of all of the circular references, but you'll know that at least one exists. So if there's one or more, you'll see that either in the formulas error checking section or down here as well. So there's a couple places that you can find them. And of course, you'll also get that warning when you initially open up the file that you've got circular references. So if I were to fix this one again and do the same thing, I can just copy over the logic for this subtotal here. Now that's gone. My message is gone. If I go back to error checking, it's grayed out. So now that tells me there are no circular references left in here. And now it's calculating properly. But I'm going to do Control Z, get my circular reference back just so I can fix it. And I'm going to show you a couple things that can help you when you're on your formulas tab. So there's this button here for trace precedence. So these are basically telling you the values that are the cells that are going in and affecting this calculation. So if I click on trace precedence here, you'll notice that it's highlighted all the cells that are included in this summation, right? So they're showing me that everything in this blue box, is getting pulled in to this value. That's what that arrow shows. So if I want to remove that arrow, I can hit remove arrows. Let's do the same thing for this one that has the circular reference. Trace precedence. Now you'll see that this time it's included the entire box, goes all the way to the end here. And so this can be a good way to visually see exactly what's pointing to your calculation in case you're wondering, where or what cells are making up that calculation, where that value is coming from. And you can always remove arrows if you no longer need it. The trace dependence does the opposite. So if this cell is being used in another calculation, that's where you can click on that. In this case, it's not. So there's no formulas that refer to this active cell. If I click on one of these values, which obviously add up to this. I can hit the trace dependence, and it's going to show me that it's used in actually two calculations, one here to get this total calculation and one here in this subtotal. So it's a really useful feature if you want to know where that cell is being used or what relies on it. This can be helpful if you're deleting values, and before you delete formulas, you may want to double check, are there other cells that depend on this cell? Because if they do, you could be impacting other areas of your spreadsheet. And then let's say if we click on this cell and say, okay, let's look at these dependents, what cells depend on this? We can say, okay, now that's creating a bit of a domino effect, because if we delete this cell, it affects that one, it affects that one, and potentially more along the way. So these buttons are pretty useful in that they can help you navigate where your formulas are linking to, can help you identify cells that maybe are important, shouldn't be deleted, and also help you with circular references to see, okay, where those formulas are. Because just looking at a formulas calculation, just looking all of some deep may not be as easy to conceptualize as opposed to when you've got arrows, right? So I can remove these arrows to clean that off, get rid of that, and get back to what I had before. Now there is another way we can get around these circular references if you're comfortable doing so. If you go to the Excel options, if you go to File and Options, and under the Formula section, you can enable iterative calculations. So if I click on this, it's going to say, it's going to go through the calculations 100 times, or I can change this number to whatever else. And if I click OK, basically that circular reference is going to stop. So it's going to stop calculating after 100 times. So it's going to loop through 100 times, do that calculation, and then it's going to leave the value as is. So that's something that, unless you're planning to have iterative calculations and are comfortable using that, you probably want to avoid doing that, but you can create those rules in your Excel options to modify that, so that way you don't have those calculations. So if I copy this over here, you can see my calculations are not correct, right? If I enabled iterative calculations, it's going to obviously recalculate these values, and it's not going to give me the right results in this case. But there are situations where people may want to have iterative calculations enabled based on their spreadsheet. But for the majority of users, you're probably not going to want to have that on, just because your calculations may not be correct, as you can see in this case. Because as you can see, if we were to sum up this entire range of quantities, we get a sum of 306. Whereas here we have 61,200. If we add up this entire total, we've got 61,506, right? So if I were to hit the delete button to recalculate again, now we've got an entirely different total, right? So it's running through these calculations 100 times, and it's basically saving that last calculation. So again, if you're not comfortable with iterative calculations, you're better off leaving that off. So I'm going to go to File and Options and turn that back off, just because I don't want it affecting my other spreadsheets. And now I'm back to getting that circular reference warning. So if you're comfortable with that and know the risks of using that, then you can set up the iterative calculations to stop at a certain amount. But otherwise, the easier option is just to actually fix the calculation and making sure that it's calculating properly, as opposed to enabling it to stay on. So there are situations where you may want to have it iterate a certain amount of times, but in this case, and in most cases, you probably just need to fix the formulas calculation, like in this case. Now we've got it, so summing up the correct range, it's not including itself in that calculation, and so we don't see a prompt here for circular references. If we go to formulas, we don't see it in error checking, and if we click on precedence, it's calculating properly. It's only going up and down that range that we specified. The arrow is telling us where it's taking those values and putting them. So the trace precedence, trace dependence buttons, they can help you with evaluating and reviewing your formulas. Circular references generally shouldn't be too hard to fix. In some cases, you may have really complex spreadsheets where one cell is pointing to another, it's nested into another. So you may have to work backwards to fix those issues. And that's where using the trace precedence, trace dependence buttons can be helpful, because it can walk you through that process to see where those issues began and how you can fix them. Basically, you just want to avoid a situation where the cell that's the result isn't used in your calculation elsewhere in the process. So depending on how complex your sheet is, you may need to point your calculations elsewhere and set them up differently. But you can find the cells that have circular references by checking the error checking section here, checking down here just to see if there's any messages as well. And when you open the file, you'll normally get a prompt saying that circular references are in the spreadsheet. So that can be your way to know that there's potentially some formulas that you need to fix. But the main way to fix it is just to go through your formula and make sure that nothing's linking back to the same cell as your calculation. So hope you found this video useful. Please leave a like if you did, and make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.